Everything is going from the heavy to the light, from the gross to the subtle, from the opaque to the transparent, from the dark to the light, from the colorless to the colorful, from the fragmentary to the unitary, from the complicated to the linear. Anyone going in the opposite direction is an error. In the 1930s, America was burdened with the poverty of the most widespread depression they had ever experienced. In the 1940s, Europe and America were plagued with World War II. But by the 1950s, America and Europe were ready to move on from the despair and insecurity that had been associated with the past 2 decades and began to experience a period of seeming abundance. The 1950s were a period of renewal and optimism that saw post-war austerity gradually replaced by an unprecedented consumer boom. Economic growth and a rapid increase in population in continental Europe, particularly in Scandinavian countries, Italy, Germany, and Great Britain, and in the United States in the 1950s, led to a surge in house building, which became increasingly industrialized and mechanized. The housing boom was matched by a rise in interest in modern design. Designers and manufacturers appealed to consumers' growing aspirations by producing streamlined and forward-looking products that were the embodiment of the American dream. Modern design was fully embraced and represented newness in a world that had been disrupted by war. Modern design was identified with an independent spirit, liberation, and playfulness. Similarly, post-war modern design held the ideals that well-designed goods should be available to all. This influence of good design was evident in mass-produced and utilitarian objects such as furniture, lighting, dinnerware, ceramics, and household appliances. Architecture and design benefited from new applications of wartime research, from anthropometrical data to state-of-the-art materials and methods of construction. There was a huge growth of interest in these modern materials, which were seen as signs of a new, affluent lifestyle. New materials, such as molded plywood, plastic laminates, fiberglass, and latex foam made it possible for objects to exhibit a new expressiveness, and quite literally shaped the look of the 1950s. Considered one of the most influential furniture designers of the 20th century is the design team of Charles and Ray Eames. This American husband and wife team was in the group of progressive furniture designers that first brought modern design to the rest of the world's attention. Eames's groundbreaking and influential designs exploited technological breakthroughs in wood, plastics, and metal. Some of their most recognizable works include the LCW, lounge chair with wood legs, which was a chair made of molded and bent plywood, and the fiberglass reinforced plastic chair, which was the first to solve the problem of how to make a seat out of a single shell. Other important works include their version of la chaise, plywood sculpture, and textiles. Other influential designers, such as Finnish-born Eero Saarinen, a friend and colleague of the Eameses, created organic, human-friendly forms rather than the severe rectilinear outlines of traditional modernism. Most noted are the womb chair and the grasshopper chair. With the mass consumption of modern style that occurred by the late 1950s, the ever-expanding technological possibilities open to designers, and the global nature of the marketplace, it was clear that modern design was fully integrated into the late 20th century capitalist economy and has become one of the major cultural forces of the period. Due to its still continued popularity, it's clear that 1950s modern design has made a permanent impression on the American landscape.